What's up, folks? I'm Nev from Nev's Tech, but otherwise known as your friendly neighborhood basement dweller. Don't worry, ma'am, I am from the internet. Such degenerates have managed to hack and create a lot of beautiful things. Let's check out this and just look and appreciate Science and Mechanics, 1950, June. This was before pictures were a big deal. You could always make much more with an interesting title page. Jumbo Tried Trains. I don't exactly know what that is, but it looks really manly and badass. This must be American, and I bet that's an oil driller of some sort. Check it out. Just put those things on some wheels, and away you go. America! Heck yeah! Now, here's some beautiful ephemera. I love it in this atomic age when you get little individuals jumping around and whatnot. These things were incredibly difficult to thread. The General Camera Co. Not familiar with them. 5 reasons why accountancy offers you more money and success. Look at that guy's face. I don't trust that guy. He's going to become the Joker. He's okay. All right, stay out of that. Stay away from that house. This is Gotham. He's how to pass as a genius. That's what everyone wants. This guy definitely ends up with a lot of friends. Let's take a look at what people thought was important. Trackless carpeting, electric paint peeler, midge rescue, or midget rescue rate. Can you use that word anymore? Make your own pearls. Hell yeah. Now, this is one really fascinating thing I've noticed, that when you get back into the 50s, instead of getting into electronic repairs, they say they're getting into electricity. And that kind of makes sense. A lot of the people reading this stuff don't really know much about any of the materials or anything like that. And yeah, getting into electricity. So Eli the computer guy, which is one of my gurus for computer repair, told me the first thing that he did when he went into recruiters, he said, I want to do computers. And he said he looked and he sounded incredibly stupid because of that. And he said, never do that. But I really think at a protoform level, that saying I want to get into electricity when you're talking about getting into all of this stuff, yeah, no, you got your heart's in the right place. Absolutely. Be a radio television electrician. So the electricity stuff, big deal. I think by the 50s in Orangeville, we were getting lines brought out to Arthur, Ontario in the 50s. No, in the 50s, we were just starting to get water closets, I was told. I gotta tell you, diesel mechanics. Huh. So, technology has come an unbelievably long time in the last 100 years. Sorry, older folks. I keep going back from talking to older to talking to younger. I kind of bridge the divide. I have a lot of respect for the older stuff. The big 5 television. Man, I love these old circular televisions that would have a square picture. There's something remarkably beautiful about it. There's something remarkably beautiful about all of the old ephemera in here. So these magazines definitely call back to a time when everybody wanted to do things and nobody had gotten sued for doing them wrong yet. And I swear as soon as I get into the units in the 80s, instead of seeing ads to do it yourself or train to do it yourself, I see more ads to join the army or to join this, that, or the other group, and you can do it with them and they will train you. Walker's design. I like the look of that. This is a conversation that never happens with anyone below the age of 50 anymore. Geez, Billy, that squirrel actually looks alive. It's easy, Fred. Once you get the hang of it, I learnt by mail in my spare... Learn about taxidermy by mail? Whoa, that could go wrong. Profit from pearl finishing. Big money right at home. Pearl finishing. Really? I wonder what that means. Make unusual custom jewelry. Okay, women don't like wearing unusual things unless it's like fashionable to their way, so it's interesting how the definition of things have changed. Dipping things in metal was popular here, but I don't know how one would dip something in pearl. I'm going to have to investigate that more. Travel for Uncle Sam. Now, kids, these are called trains, and back in the day, if I scroll in too far to this woman on the right, this video is going to get demonetized. This is from the 50s, and that image will get me demonetized if I scroll into it. Even the 50s had their own version of draw anime. They're really pushing that, but seriously, they really push the if you can draw naked ladies. And then You won't need the internet. Of course, there was no internet. Geez, back then, they still had party lines. And party lines, I'm still trying to understand why they had them that way, but like several people on the block would all be attached to the same line, and you could pick up and listen to other people's conversations, which is just incredibly, incredibly. Wait, are you forever gone with having trouble with your septic tank or cesspool? Oh no, I thought they were talking about something else. I thought they were talking about marriage. Okay, so we actually ended up getting the specially designed weed and insect control, getting up really high, but we got so high that cars could drive underneath it. There's a lot of people that like to be able to make their own stuff, but I don't want to make my own sport shoe. There's something I just don't need to know about. Now, a spot welder. Love me some spot welders. Got some advertisements for an electrical sewing machine. Very useful. Speedy Sprayer. That Speedy name has been used for so much, especially in that font. Okay, the small duplicator. Photocopying was a lot different back in the day. Apparently it involved gels of some sort. I never actually got into that one. But personalized auto tags are a big deal in this one. I legit would like to go back in the day and have a job working out of the backyard making building blocks. That would make me a very happy boy. I would do that, no problem. This is a new type of tape recorder called the Night Tape Recorder, and it had a speaker with it, and microphone, and old. An auto-turning signal light. Flashier turns electrically. Huh, instead of with your arm? Nothing else to buy. Interface. I don't quite understand what they're selling here. Shine without polish. Just get some Crocs. Jeez, check out that old school converter. Not bad. Only $10. Takes the DC and gives you the standard 110. Check it out, 1950s smart fridge. Wait, soap operas started on radio? Okay, I should have known that. Fiberglass curtains. Boy, they won't burn, but I wonder if they'll get itchy after a little bit. Oh, check it out. It's Molly the Screw Anchor Kid. I love this atomic age little icon ephemera dudes. Yeah. And they always have a bit of a mystic here. For the mystically minded people, send us $2 and we will send you happiness and freedom. This is fascinating. A wheelchair that has a lawnmower motor attached to it. I think we found the protoform to the scooter, the Rascal. Oh geez, a portable infant incubator. That doesn't look grimdark at all. An old school Harley Davidson ad back before you had to look really rough and tough. The Harley Davidson 125. Oh, jumbo trains conquer the deserts. Yeah, I could see them doing that. If it's in the desert, just put them on location and roll them out. Autobots transform and roll out. Damn, I love that picture. Jeez. We gotta find some ramps to go over with that thing, seriously. Here come the budget cars. Those kids look like they're having so much fun. My goodness, now they have my interest. Can we harness old Sol? Old solar. So, take the heat, put it in the hot fluid storage, and the boiler, turbine, generator. Holy snot, that would work fine. Yeah, guys, let's make a photosynthesis reactor. That's what I'm talking about. Call it whatever you want, but yeah. Legit. We've been working on this for a while then, haven't we? Solar energy warms the fluid. Warms... Wait. Steam builder. Yeah, this is a steam. Basically, they're using solar to make steam to run a turbine to make electric. Okay. This is a protoform to solar power farm. An early sun engine built by the Sun Power Limited Ltd. A Cairo, Egypt, long reflecting mirrors which turned in cradles to face the sun. Concentrated sun rays into a water tube at the center. the steam generated. This is just solar that's melting water or superheating water so that it turns into a gas and then can be used to turn a turbine. Make your own rubber band guns. Get kids into guns at a super early age. But seriously, rubber band guns are so much fun. Hey y'all, prepare yourself for the rubber band, yeah. I love these advertisements for glue. I legitimately think that some people got locked into their glue room for too long and started feeling like a wizard, and that's the reason why they have the wizard advertise it. This legitimately looks like a fun way to have a good time. This is one thing we never do anymore, and that's really sad. Just take an inflatable whatevs down the river. So I'm noticing a lot of miniatures in here, and at first I thought miniatures were only for women, you know, in society typically, to each their own, of course, but then I think about small army heroes. Not just that, but Warhammer 40K, man, men and women both just love miniatures. Hyperfixate on the small so that we can all go into inner space, as the chaos penguins call it. Sorry, chaos pagans. I keep calling them chaos penguins. Wait a sec, fries in a hurry? There's no way that can be a new product. They must have had that before the 50s. That couldn't have been made in the 50s. How would you make fries in the... Oh no, not with a knife. New technology for your car. Get up to 25% more mileage with this little thing that puts more air in the needle. Yeah, I'm sure the manufacturers wouldn't have thought that out. The manufacturers are just trying to screw you because they own the gas companies. Wait, no they don't. What? Anyways, science and mechanics. 1950. Things were different then. If you guys have any memories about any of this stuff, feel free to leave a comment. I love that stuff. Take it easy, everyone. Take care of each other, too. Have a good one. Ladies and gentlemen, how's it going? Once again, I'm Nev from Nev's Tech Bits, otherwise known as your friendly neighborhood IT guy. Don't worry, ma'am, I am from the internet, and today I want to check out Science and Mechanics, 1949. This is a real interesting piece of Retro-Futurism. This magazine right here, Science and Mechanics, they always like to put Archie, Betty, and Veronica in the front of the red car, always. I definitely prefer the paper of these pre-50s units. I love how they put this guy up in front every fourth page. He doesn't look super intelligent, but back in the day things were different. I can't describe to you, though this looks very nice, it smells unbelievably like mold. Back in this time there was a lot of behavior of people that wanted to start their own business. People would say they wanted to get into electricity when they were getting into stuff like radio. I really love the old school art, and I wonder what that is on the left that they're working with. The advertisements are all over, just like the internet. That's why these things were so affordable. A lot of parents who really love their children and their husbands would make sure that they got these magazines, because the men would take care of things and build things, and the women would oftentimes get cookbooks. Now, we don't like to talk about that these days, but that was the situation. The woman would take care of the house and the man would go out and be the breadwinner. That's how things were back then. Oh, I really like the art in that one. So that's a firefighter right next to a cameraman. I've never seen a camera look anything like that before. Hey, check it out, it's a Super Soaker 8. Oh, this is interesting. Person sent a picture of this walking robot powered by several 2-volt batteries. Geez, I've never seen a 2-volt battery. So I did do a search. I was unable to find any more information though. Build your own jet engine. Why don't I have these things available to me now? I really wish I had one of these on the back of my window when I was learning to drive stick shift that said, "Warning, being driven by an idiot." It's interesting how every issue of Popular Mechanics, Popular Science, whatever have you, you have one page advertising metaphysical knowledge, basically, forbidden knowledge, and magical knowledge. It's interesting because magic, science, technology, all of these are kind of the same thing, I think. Everything technological enough looks magical to anyone who's not used to seeing it. Why would you need wheels like that, I wonder? Jobs in the U.S. government. Get working for your country. There's nothing wrong with that. Geez, in Canada here, though, everyone's working for the government. I think 1 in 3 people are working for the government now. I could be wrong about that. Oh, sorry, guys. Let's take a look at that. Geez, the best liquid fish glue. Fish glue. Huh. I have never heard about fish glue, but I wonder if that guy's wearing pants. Huh. Oh, I want to make my own concrete blocks. Oh, I want to make my own concrete. Now, the advertisements I've always found say a little bit extra about the time. I'm just going to hang here for a second. You guys can do what you do. And I want to get over into the hamster and rupture eraser. Once again, it's interesting that people would rather get one of these things than go under a knife to a doctor and get a hernia fixed. Geez, what a pain in the ass, a hernia. Raise hamsters. What a wonderful idea. And over here, make some extra money repairing watches and getting into stuff. Nothing super cool. Real estate business. That's what I should have got into. And you get this far back, you'll find remarkable amounts of Harley-Davidson advertisements that are just aimed at the everyday guy. Greatest thing I ever had for getting around, and it costs so little. Sure saves me riding to work. A lot of fun, too. Man, it would be a lot of fun to go to work in something like that. The new Frontier Pioneer scooter. Nobody needs any helmets back then. Helmets are for pussies, right? This is what real men wanted. Your own shop lathe. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. That is pretty awesome, though. Oh my goodness, I just realized I think this is from a time before microwaves. I always gotta love the Retro-Futurism. This is what cars of the future will look like. Sealed beams. Okay. And down here, gotta have lots of space for your head. Back in the 40s, they were still selling TVs that had circular tubes, and I've never found one. I want a setup like that. So bad. So bad. So bad. Yeah, that's about it, folks. Have fun like Archie and the girls in the front seat. Brrr. Ladies and gentlemen, how's it going? Once again, I am Nev from Nev's Tech, but otherwise known as your friendly neighborhood basement dweller. Don't worry, ma'am, I am from the internet. And from somebody else's basement, I have found Science and Mechanics, April 1951. Look at that big yellow beauty. I love taking a look at these old school magazines because they tell you not just about science and mechanics, but about the times that we were in. Learn metallizing. Legitimately, I'm not even sure what they're talking about here. Golden treasures? Is he talking about bending them? Forming them? Oh, wow, it's just dipping things in molten metal. Yeah, I want to do that. Can I do that these days? Like, legitimately, can I do something like this these days? Oh boy, General Motors builds 300 horsepower super sportster. Starting out with a glue advertisement. You definitely don't see advertisements like that, or staple guns, in newer magazines. Accountancy's generally on page 2. What do we got here? GM builds a super sportster turbine-driven small planes. Fill the gaps in your training. Legitimately, I kept thinking that in the 50s nobody needed training. If you had your high school, your grade 10, you were good. Oh geez, Science and Mechanics is a bi-monthly. Okay, that explains. The ephemera of the advertisement says a lot about the time. Proto means professional tools. There's always a lot of requests for kids to train. Here's the Draw Me image again. They had to tone that down in later images and make it just the woman's face. Those things are so goddamn awful and hard to get going. I think in about 3 generations, most people will have lost the ability to rethread those things. I get a real kick out of Pip-Boy-like mascots. Send coupon today. Earn what you learn. He didn't last too long. Once again, it's interesting. Every one of these issues has a page, Secret Method for the Mastery of Life. We'll just read this book and blam, you'll know everything. I wonder if that worked out for anyone. Also, I really love the Midwest televisions. It's just everything in one, and when you're done, it all gets packed away. You don't do it that much anymore, but it is a good thing if you can pack away your televisions when you're done. As a scientist, I say we must destroy it or it will destroy us. The thing from another world. With Howard Dock's daring movies. Well, that's cool. Amazing attachment makes old refrigerators into modern automatic defrosters. Huh. Woman, by the thousands. Huh. Ooh, the new hair vac removes dirt, dust, and dandruff, promotes hair health with electric massager, so you don't need to worry about washing. A nice little build your own radio. That was a big deal for these guys, and you had to have tubes, vacuum tubes, to make these things work. We're past that now. I think it's because we have transistors that have replaced them, or capacitors. Moto's Auto Repair. Anyone who actually fixed old cars knows about these. You just gotta have them. So that's interesting. A portable electroplating set. Now this was probably new back in the day, but even by today's standards, very, very important. Automatically retracting electrical cords. Coming on down here. I thought this was fascinating. Not licensed and not examination is required. Units control free flight planes or model boats. That's a remote control. Most kids these days will have no idea, no freaking clue what a hand loom is. Now, pausing with that, have we become too disconnected from where we've come from if we don't even know what a loom is at this point? Don't pull hair from your nose. Clip it. Keep your fingers out of there, boys. You pick it, you flick it. Now, it's fascinating. These ads about a rupture or a, oh, cool, psychology right above it. Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, so a rupture is when you get a hernia, right? They could operate on that these days, but could they not operate it in the 50s, or would you not want them to operate on you back then? Become a doctor of psychology. Yes, that's right. Popular Mechanics, sign up. So that's a modern wood-burning furnace. I've only ever seen one wood-burning furnace, and it was at a in an abandoned house. And yeah, I don't even need to worry about that stuff, right? Geez, Charles Atlas was way back in 51 too. How old were you, boy? I think that's the first stop smoking ad that I've seen in any of these. Another rupture. You poor folks and your ruptures. Combat knife. In the health news, trifocals, not just bifocals, make big news. You almost make it seem like a new idea to use gloves and respirators while dealing with harsh chemicals for farmers. Man, throwing knives have been fun forever, haven't they? Geez, capsules. Insulin treatment provided slow but impressive improvements. Zoe, stop jumping, please. I'm sharing the bed with my daughter. The hay fever drug. Gives relief for shaky... Oh, okay. Parkinson's, yes. Oh, I don't like any article that has children and barbiturates in the name. In happier news, let's try some tear gas for real surefire seller. Thugs and thieves beware. 2 wheels to work and save with Harley Davidson with Telglide fork, eh? And this is the Super Sportster. What makes it so cool? I'm trying a V8 engine, supercharged drive, 12 volt batteries. Like okay. I mean, it looks really cool. It looks really cool. Oh, and this is the thing I love. So much going on. Is this the car that Buddy was talking about in Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas? A car with so many things you would never have any idea what any of them meant? Don't think I've ever seen one of these before. Turbine-driven small planes with a turbine on the back? That is fascinating. An interesting article about heating your house with a jet engine. I'm not kidding. I mean, if it works, it works. This one's fascinating. Does the divining rod actually work? There is a lot to be said about this. I know a dude who's a plumber who actually, he knows a guy that he trusts and respects that actually swears by it. In this test, they go through it and they're basically inconclusive. It looks as if the choice of whether or not you believe in the divining rod working is still up to you. Some people swear by it, though. Somebody managed to find a way to make building an outdoor barbecue look the same as building a jet engine. This does not look easy at all. Convert hand mowers to power motors in less than 3 hours. I'm so glad that I don't have to worry about the things the same way as many of the people in here had to worry about. I have my own set of worries now. How to build your own dream home. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, that's it from me, Neff from NASTAC. But like and subscribe if you like the stuff. It's always appreciated. And as always, folks, take care of each other, will yous? Ladies and gentlemen, how's it going? Once again, I'm Nev from Nav's Tac Bits, otherwise known as your friendly neighborhood basement dweller. Don't worry, ma'am, I am from the internet. Today we're checking out the oldest piece of ephemera magazine that I have. This is Science and Technology, 1947, the December issue. Looks like we got a crash going on up here, and we got a really cool car going up to save it. I've never seen anything quite like that, but one of the fun things about going back to these old magazines is seeing what they thought would be the future and what the future actually turned out to be. And you can see it looks like somebody or somebody's kid just scripting around everywhere. Snow travel comes of age. Pilotless flight anywhere. That never ended up coming, did it? Electronic egg garden? Okay. Heat without fuel or fire. I'd like to see that. They're selling... They're selling Army surplus bubble machines from the Air Force. I guess they needed to see the way that the air was going and they didn't know how to make smoke yet. Bubble machines. Sextants costs okay. Yeah, save some money, get government surplus. Man, it just really goes to show how much government money was being spent for wars and stuff like that. How much government money my generation is still going to have to pay back. And this generation was getting government surplus. That's such a deal. I'm not casting shade at the old generations. Those new guys, we got our own problems too. Every generation comes with their own issues, right? Learn either electricity or radio. That's really interesting because when I got into computers, Eli the computer guy said that he went into recruiters and he said, I want to learn computers. And he said that was the dumbest thing he ever said. Meanwhile, that's exactly how they're advertising it here. Learn electricity. What do you mean learn electricity? We're still learning electricity. Electricity works so interestingly that we can't predict it at the subatomic level, and so we need to make bigger chip dies for CPUs instead of making them smaller. We have to make them bigger. I've never seen a telescope look anything like that before. I want one. I don't care. Drones for every man of every age. So there was a time when life wasn't all about being consumers. In the 80s, everyone dropped the ability to be able to be good at things and just wanted to be consumers, just wanted to go shopping. Here's a situation where a man made this with his own hands, and that was a big deal back in the day. You drive by some people's places and see all kinds of mechanical things running. Now, back in the day, transistors weren't around, but you had tubes in radios. Vacuum tubes, and they're very important. If you didn't have one of these vacuum tubes, your radio wouldn't work. And these days, some of those vacuum tubes are worth more than entire radios. I've seen these enlargers at second-hand stores and antique stores quite a few times. The Hobby Guild, genuine shark teeth. Those are always popular. Geez, I don't think I've ever actually seen an advertisement for a U.S. government job. They paid good back then, too. It's the 3-in-1 air pistol. These things wouldn't go too far, but they'd be a lot of fun. I don't think you could get BB through a pop can with one of these things. But again, kind of fun. Now, this is interesting. Instant nickel plating? Plating seems to have been a big deal at about this time. I see people dipping a lot of things in bronze and things like that. Hypnotize anyone. I wonder what the ethics like that is. Secrets revealed, exciting experiences, overcome inferiority complexes. Become a doctor of psychology from an advertisement in a magazine. These watches really gave you the bling. If you had something like that, people would think differently of you. The type of watch you wore really spoke to certain people. Learn electricity, on-the-job methods, on-the-job equipment. Okay, just let's hope we get some off-the-job training before we go on the job, right? Electricity, we can get spicy, right, boys? This wisdom must die. The heretics must not get this wisdom. Anyways, yeah, even back in the 40s, it seems like people were blaming the Christians for keeping information away and making the world, oh no, we're all so bad off because of the evil Christian colonists making information hard for their own benefit or something. I don't know. Oh boy, the Christians made your life so hard, so send us a little bit of money and we will tell you their secrets, 'cause they're your enemy. Oh geez, they're going after statesmen here too. Okay, so what is really interesting about this is people on the high up generally have a bubble of people, a class of people that they themselves will associate with. They'll say, oh no we don't, but when it comes to their kids, they'll tell you flat out, don't associate with bad people or you'll be associated with bad people. They tell their kids not to hang out with people from other financial classes, but in doing so, they create a bubble where they don't understand what's going on in any of these classes. They act like they do because they're better than them, but in reality, they don't actually see the reality. They just kind of think they're better. Everyone else is unwashed masses, and I get that. So maybe there is meaning to this advertisement. Maybe, well, absolutely, information does get withheld. We still don't have all of the information on JFK's assassination, and I am not a conspiracy theorist, but why? Why don't we have all that information? It was so damn long ago. If the government was really all on the up and up, then they could release information of what happened about, what was that, like 40 years ago? Something like that? Hey, government, maybe if you want to keep information away from people, maybe it means you've been being sketchy. Stop being sketchy, government. Anyways, moving on. Check it out. We got artificial limbs, replacement bits. That's the first time I've seen one of those in here. But man, life is hard, especially for guys on the farm, and it doesn't take too long before you get a cut that just takes your foot off. Heck yeah, tattooing for the ages. We got to start tattooing, yeah. Looks like they still haven't got the idea that women make wonderful dental technicians also. Women, wonderful. Dental technicians, yeah. You can see them evolving. They go to university and they get into the cheerleaders, and then they'll evolve into dental technicians. Hey, look, they had neckbeards back then, too. The trouble with you is wrong again. Geez, you're dumb. Not my way. Not that way. Mr. Beckley? Is that 7 habits for highly effective people? Genuine meteorite. I'm not interested in that. I'm from stars. I came birthed from stars. Apparently, we all did. Stammer. I need to call these guys. Maybe they'll help me with my stammer. Ray's golden hamsters now, the new wonderful animal from Syria. Looks like a toy bed bear. Red bear? Red bear. Delightful pets. Everyone wants them. Thousands needed for laboratories. Make money. Get started now. Oh, he's such a cutie. What? Pocket alarm watch? That's a conductor's watch. And I've never heard of one that has an alarm on it. That's fascinating. Oh, this is the good stuff. What's new? That shred of wheat is really stalks of fiberglass insulations made by Westinghouse. I've never seen that stuff before like that. I'm gonna have to look up a color picture. Here you can see we have a camera leveler just to keep the camera in place for perfect pictures. And look at that fancy rack, a fancy way to save on Windows. This is fascinating, and I expected to see more of these advertisements for particular train kits. These ones go choo-choo. They have their own puffs, and yeah, basically this is the expensive. This would be the good stuff. I haven't even seen too many of these in the sales. An assemble yourself television set. Now, it seems like back in the day it was super popular to have radios, cell radios that you assembled yourself. And it looks like some people tried to get in on that television set thing too, but tube isn't very big, of course. Here we have a dishwasher that apparently just attaches directly to the faucet somehow. Can someone please explain to me how this is a half track? They say that's a half track. Is it because it has 2 wheels on the front and like 1 in the back? I don't get it. Now install your own two-way telephone. These things were wonderful for getting a call down to the garage or something. Some people still use these things. Oh, wow, a wood burning pen. I got one of these at a yard sale once. Burned myself up pretty good. Lots of fun. Pipe repair. That's fascinating. It's been a long time since... I've never seen a pipe repair in any of these. Back in the day, people would smoke pipe quite a bit. More of those rupture handlers. Apparently nobody wanted to go to the doctor back in the day. I don't blame them. These Americans are always so happy anytime you put a gun in their hands. Look at that guy, he's so happy. Check it out, guys. An adding machine. Before calculators. One toy being offered this year. Oh wait, that's a toy? Miniature electric motor. I want one. I really want one. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that they still manufacture something a lot like this. Gotta get me some of that Franzite grip action. Alright, here's the cover bit. Snow travel comes of age. Snowcat. Meadford, Ontario? Holy crud, that is Meadford, Ontario. I'm pretty sure it's a military base. It definitely looks like the kind of thing a Canadian would make, let's face it. Women holding giant guns or tools or driving giant vehicles is such a turn on. Alright, pilotless flight absolutely anywhere. Here we see take off, climb. It all looks real easy. It all looks real easy. I wonder how it actually turned out. It all looks real good on paper. But what happens when you run out of signal? It's wonderful how they break everything down for you and just hope to God that you won't do anything evil with this information. Y'all be good now, you hear? Here we have an advanced butter maker for the time. It's gonna hold it here for a quick sec for you gearheads that like this information. Very nice, buttermilk. Okay. And over here we have a new egg grading hardware. I'm sure some of us have seen or worked with something much like this. And here we have heat without fuel or fire by getting the heat from the ground within the earth. Hey, if it works, but I don't know where I am. If you dig, you just get cold. The mechanics of new toys. Plugless electric train. This train uses batteries. Oh, and the nipple pincher. Mom told me that she got her. Yeah. Women are so happy. They don't even know how happy they are. They don't get their nipples pinched by this anymore. It's like that thing we go whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. And you take your clothes and then run them through here to get all the water off of them, and hopefully your nips wouldn't come with them. Western Union's new streamline push telegraph center in Philadelphia? They were still running telegraphs in the 40s. I should have known that. Damn, that is fascinating. Now this is really something. It shows you the map of all the telegraph lines. I feel compelled to get a wonderful picture of this. Damn. I do believe this is one of the more meaningful maps I've ever found. Alright, this is super fascinating. So the telegraph would come in, a woman would receive it. Generally they had women working here. They would route it. They would a clerk. It's interesting that they have women here and not just people. You know what I mean? It's like certain jobs were considered for certain people. You wanted a secretary to be a woman. You wanted communication to be women. Even at the switching boards at Bell, and my grandmother used to work there, and it was women. Sometimes on roller skates, but women. Women in communication. What is up with that, anyways? Route clerk, distributing clerk. Sending, receiving, sending. So most of this is people. Most of this is women. Across the map. I'm taking a picture of this map and I've put it in with my posts, by the way. This looks wonderful. Data is beautiful, guys. Doctoring the diesel. Man, that thing is beautiful and large. It looks like a train that I used to have a model of. Shell wire art and radiology. This looks like radiology to identify metals. Toy-size baking ranges. Oh boy, back in the day you could actually make things with your Easy Bake Oven. And then kids did some really dumb things with them and now we can't. Oh, new drill press for the hobbyist. Homecraft, 11-inch drill press. Nice. Oh, this is about making an easy bake oven. Knob that throws off 4 burners and that. They're actually giving this kid a working stove. They're building this kid a working stove. I left the bookmark here because it looks like someone way back in the day decided to make this toy sink for their kids, and that's lovely. See, men and women both like vibrators. They just have different use for them. I bet that chemistry set would be radioactive. Meet Robert D. Wisticker? 14-year-old boy from Tampa. Built his own explosives. Boom! Make chemical weather flag. Wait, make chemical weather flag. What? At this point, this is just flat out how to make things, which is freaking wonderful. This 40s issue has more than any I've ever seen. It's just how to make things. Just how to make. Let's keep going. Ooh, your power hacksaw. I guess we finally ended. Now, back in the day, the belts were right out. Everyone could see the belts everywhere, and one of my dad's first memories was almost losing a pinky finger under one of these belts. It was a kitchen. It was just the time. They had those belts running around all the time. Speedyway. Okay, you guys have finally found it. Speedyway. I knew it. Their manufacturer named Speedyway. Don't know what happened to them, but they eventually went bye-bye, and I knew that they were in here. I was looking for them forever. Speedyway. And they went bye-bye. Start a saw repair business. Okay. Build your own trailer. Build your own trailer. Build your own trailer. Would you have to get this stuff safe-feed? Like in the 50s, anyone could just build whatever they wanted and drive it wherever? Man, what a time. One thing I want to point out is that consumer electronics were definitely a pain in the ass back here, especially photography, reel-to-reel. Setting these things up had a big room for error, margin for error, and it were always a giant pain. South Bend Lathe, the basic tool shop. Learn engineering. So there's definitely a lot of interesting things in here. There's a lot to learn. I'm really glad that I had the opportunity to go through this. Thanks for joining me, folks. Like, subscribe if you like this stuff. There's going to be more. And have a good one, folks. Take care of each other. Ladies and gentlemen, what's going on? Once again, I'm Nev from Nev's Tech, otherwise known as your friendly neighborhood basement dweller. Don't worry, ma'am, I am from the internet. This is for December 1949, Science and Mechanics. I love the 49 ephemera. I love the visual of it all. They don't even have any pictures of anything. They always just have drawn images. Man, that poor guy. Could you imagine legitimately being out on a stormy night like that? Just standing out there, not tied off to anything. Probably no PPE. I bet he's got running shoes on. Maybe just rubber boots. Oh, this thing like whoosh, as the boat goes back and forth. I would not want to be the person to have to land while doing that, and they can do it. You should check out some videos of them doing it. But could you imagine how quick that thing, like legitimately, that thing would tilt so quick it would launch that guy into the chopper? I'm not gonna finish that. Now, at my risk, I want to read the Warner success. What? Or metallizing. Yeah, this is something that we moved away from quite a bit. Back in the day, you could dip things in metal and have them metallized. You could even have them pearled. I really don't understand that one. This guy kind of looks like he's a 12-year-old trying to be a 4-year-old. And stop thinking about that guy being launched now. Oh, the old TV units where if you dropped them on your toe, you were losing a toenail. I mean, personal protective equipments for jerks back then, right? Man-made sea legs for ships. Crystal coat craftwork. Whoa, crystal coat your craftwork? There's a new Crystal phase. It covers metal, plastic, ceramics, and glass. I'm legitimately going to have to look more into this. It didn't seem to work out. See, ladies, look, there's a woman driving a car in this 40s magazine. You know, feminists, calm down. You all had equality all the time, clearly. It's interesting. If you look really closely, you can see the cutout lines along her hair. Erector kit. Erector kit, and it's between the kid's legs. I'm not making any... Nope. Geez, they had round ones? I didn't know they had round ones. These things are definitely a lot of fun. There was one birthday I had where My parents are like, "Oh, we're going to get you something you'll like, and it'll teach you and all these positive things." And I was like, "Yeah, you're going to get me Mario Paint for Super Nintendo." No, it was an erector kit. I wasn't disappointed. I'm not complaining. Let's take a look at what we got on the cover. The USS Peregrine has a beautiful deck for one of these legs. Hopefully not made with erector kits. So this is the basic idea we got going on. Stabilization cabin. Okay. I wonder if they got it to work fast enough, though, without launching the poor dude there. Now, here, to me, is a super fascinating part. Did they ever get this off the ground, where a tank could tilt? I could imagine that that device would take up so much space. You don't get any space in that cabin at all. You don't get any space at all. And I'm wondering if that would take up so much space, it would just take away the viability. And I'm thinking the low side of this, about if you were one of the boys inside the tanks and if you were on a tilt, you'd probably be badass enough that that tilt would not affect you at all. You would not care about that. You would eat tilts for breakfast. Oh boy, these men are getting practical training in electricity. I love when they say electricity. It's like, meh, it's electricity. I'll tell you what, Bobby, you should send me $10 and I'll give you this plan for success. There's got to be a catch. Nothing's free. Oh, I love it. Now go over a ramp. Now do speed bumps. Okay, this is interesting. How do you rate length of service in World War II? 3 months, 14 months. There's veteran training. Oh, geez. ICS was approved under the government GI Bill. I've taken courses under ICS. I had no idea that they were approved. That is so cool. 24 months. Doing 3 months with service. I remember, I can't say I remember, but if you were in service for 3 months in World War II, I wonder what your survivability rate would be in general. Because, like, it looks like nothing there when it's on paper. 3 months, like 3 months. Sometimes that just flies by, right? In World War II, 3 months, those might be the longest 3 months of your life, right? Legit. Holy crap, guys, this book didn't even come... This book is 5 years away from World War II. They're not even thinking about being on the moon right now. Like, I know you older folks are going to be like, oh, yeah, well, Guys, technology's come so damn far, so damn quick. Like, come on. Tell me technology hasn't come further in the last 100 years than it has in the last, like, all of humanity. All humanity. Now, one thing I keep forgetting in these newer videos to say is one of the reasons why I go through these pop mechanics and pop ancient videos is this isn't just about mechanics. We see a lot about society and how society has changed, and I really want one of those so bad. Any TV that has circular picture that has a square image, I love it so much. But anyways, we can find some things that are totally different in here. I remember I found an ad from the 50s. Here we go. They don't stop. These learn how to draw good women things. The poor guys back then probably didn't have pornographies, right? And they just had to draw stick ladies with boobs and stuff like that. And if you had the ability to draw boobs, oh, dude, you had the power. We didn't even have the internet back then. They probably didn't even have pornography yet. Okay, this magazine's only about 4 years until the first Playboy issue drops. So guys, let's talk a little bit historic guy talk, right? So it's okay to have pictures of naked ladies around in your shop. It's almost expected in some ways. I'm wondering, how far back does smut go? The kind like Playboy and Hustler, like we're used to. I remember when I was a teenager, everyone seemed to know one person that had someone in the family that had naughty magazines easily available. Some were classy, some weren't. And I'm wondering, at what point would you be able to go to the corner store and get pornography? Tell you one thing that gets me really excited. Raise hamsters. Every time I see these advertisements, I can only imagine how many times some poor schmuck's life has been changed by having the ability to raise these adorable little bears of love. Learn neon signs in the 40s? That's one practice that I really think I should get into. I could that's a freaking art. I'll tell you what, Bobby. Oh, geez, I was worried that was a mixed race couple. Nope, nope. That's just a woman with a really good tan. I was thinking, geez, I thought they were actually progressive, but nope, not yet. I love how in all these magazines you get at least one of these ads that kind of cross the cusps a little bit. What will man create? Where you get these mad scientists. They're kind of pushing the idea and philosophy of mad scientists, kind of alchemists, and I am right there. This is me. This is my channel. This kind of crazy, fun stuff. You get the Tesla groups. Yeah, I love that stuff. Should it be taken seriously, though? Probably not. But it's entertaining as hell. Is that guy okay? Like, I'm a farmer. I've got my boot stuck in... I shouldn't say I'm a farmer, but I've got my boot stuck in a field before. Is that guy gonna be okay? Oh, bongo, 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 I don't want to leave the Congo. No, 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 no. 49. Why? I keep seeing Geiger counters in 40s. Why? Were people looking for radioactive things? Why was everyone suddenly so worried about radioactive stuff? Like, there are other counters that you can get that aren't Geiger counters that kind of look for other things, and I see people using them around certain buildings sometimes. I even had one at one point. Become the master of wood. Woodmaster 7. Why don't we have names like that anymore? This is perfect. Okay, this is a real tease. This is the first time I've seen one of these. You ever look in the back of a comic and you see something and you just really want to find out what it is? Well, I've looked into and found out 99% of these things. And this ad has given me that feeling. I just really want to find it and figure out what it is. An air pistol? What does it just shoot? Plastic, steel, and aluminum. This looks like so much fun. Legitimately, this looks like a toy, like a plastic BB gun. But if you shoot someone that isn't your friend, you can actually get charged with firearms assault for that. So don't let them catch you. But anyways, it's interesting. You pull that little thing and you pew pew. Guys! Oh my god, guys! Oh my god, guys! Dick Tracy wristwatch? Guys, my heart is exploding right now. This is so awesome. No batteries? No electricity? No tube? What? It's a magical wristwatch that doesn't have any batteries, but somehow manages to play the radio. I wonder if it means like no battery and electricity the same way they say, what is it, forever oil? You never have to do an oil change, but that's not what it actually means. That's right, guys. If you have forever oil in your car, it doesn't mean it's forever oil. Get that oil changed. Money for men, all data free. No, I was wrong. The patriarchy does exist here. They were right. Nope, I have to let my girlfriend know she was right. Frick. You older folks, you guys had the woman suffrage thing, but like, they just wanted equal rights. But man, the radical feminists these days, they are something else. And they're the ones that really like me. And they're the ones that let me motorboat their tatas. So I have to put up with them. So sorry if you have to listen to me and my complaints about them. Sometimes I have to bring them back to reality. Mostly they bring me back to reality. But sometimes, hey, even a broken clock is right once. Right? So anyways, if you can't get a girlfriend, just learn to hypnotize them. And then also, if logic and telling the truth doesn't work and being a good person doesn't work, you can always just learn how to gaslight them and hypnotize them. And no, I'm not going anywhere with that joke. Sing with me, sing for me here, sing for the rabbit and sing for the beer. Vomit on her sweat already, mom spaghetti. Now that's what I was expecting to see more of in these magazines. Gun ads. There it is, $10,000 reward if you can find radioactive ores. What, we just got Americans with radioactive ore just hanging out in their backyard? And the idea was you bought one of these and you found it? That's kind of terrifying. I kind of feel like an Arab that's going and looking for depleted uranium rounds, or you know what I mean, just kind of hanging out wreckage, and oh hey, there's actually depleted uranium rounds near me. Geez, like I'm I'm just saying it's kind of scary. But hey, here they're like, oh, go looking for those uranium rounds, and when you find them, this will tell you when you found them. I think you guys that know your uranium rounds are kind of get the idea. Why are you looking for this stuff? Stay away from this stuff. I mean, it seems like in the old magazines, it was you could do everything. Go ahead and try. And the new ones, it was don't do it. Go join the military. Do it with them. This is how the military does it. This is how they do it. And it's like back in the 40s, they were like, hey, boys, go look for your own radioactive isotopes. Here's a tool to do it. We'll give you a whole bunch of money if you find some of that spicy rock for us. Do they still make these sanding wheels? Man, these things always remind me of my S&M ex-girlfriend, Morgan. Morgan, if you're watching this, I miss you, girl. Oh my goodness, look at this. Gee, Billy, that squirrel actually looks alive. Can you imagine, like, I'm just guessing. I'm taking a look. I'm thinking these are supposed to be teenagers. Can you imagine going over to a friend's house these days as a teenager and being like, "Oh, geez, you've just taken apart dead animals that you found and you're gutting them and redoing their bodies and putting them. You need mental help. This is not a way to get girlfriends these days, especially." But like, it was okay back then. People would eat squirrel back then. Sensational work shirts for 69 cents? Geez, Archie, you got a really good deal, eh? Legitimately, more of us need to learn how to sew. It's not gay. Guys, it's not gay unless your balls touch. Can we just get over that? Just say no homo and you can sew all day long. Don't be a fag about it. I mean, like, serious. Just learn to sew. And seriously, don't step on anybody's dress if they learn to sew. Yeah. Yeah. Oh. Strange convertible wheels that you can put on the side of your child's bike if they're sissy ninny pants. Do you have the kind of kid that doesn't like eating dirt and asphalt? Well, you can just give him these sissy ninny convertible safety bicycle units and maybe they won't get head damage like the rest of us did. Back in my day, we all got at least one concussion before we were at the age of 10, and we liked it that way. The word training wheels doesn't appear almost anywhere here. These days, I know a lot of kids that don't have bikes. So what I'm asking the viewer is, when did bikes become American thing? Were bikes like Coca-Cola? Are they going out of style now? I mean, we won't even let our children go around the block so much anymore. In my area, divorce brought me back to my childhood home. And there are a lot of people who don't feel comfortable letting their kids walk around the block, and that kind of blows me away. Sounds like a lot of kids were just given a knife and sent out to the world with some other kids, and a few kids didn't make it home. I guess these days, every kid makes it home, because no kid goes outside. Is it abusive as a parent to tell your kids to go outside these days, I wonder? Okay, so this is fascinating. This is basically the toy fair of 1949. This is telling us what's really popular. Plastic mobile auto, priced at $5, which is still produced by the Conway Co. in Illinois. Okay. Oh, lovely. The Blow-A-Tune, a plastic recorder. Daddy's going to love that. Triscope. It wouldn't be Christmas without an engine. We're going to lose that soon, and that really sucks. I'm going to try hard to keep that tradition in the family. Oh, man. So, we had something like this in the basement of one of our churches. And on my block, there was one guy who was a bit mentally handicapped, and we hated him because of the content of his character. He was not a good guy. And, I shouldn't say that. I'm sure he changed, but he wasn't the nicest. Yeah. Anyways, I was like, hey, buddy, you want to spell a word on one of these? I taught him how to put swear words on there. And when the pastor found it, oh, he was in so much shit. Like, back in the day, angry dad, when dads were allowed to get that next level angry, where you were like terrified him because you crossed the line because maybe you stole money from him or money from the family or you hit your sister or you did something that clearly you absolutely weren't supposed to do. Like, someone told me that was angry dad, and that's like one of the most angry things that anyone can imagine. He named his potato gun Angry Dad. Oh man, because there's nothing you fear more than that. But you can't be that way anymore. You can't be that way. You gotta coddle your kid, and all emotions are beautiful, and whatever you think is okay, because perception is reality. And then we get our kids out there into the real world, and reality hits them like a ton of bricks. And not only does reality hit them like a ton of bricks, but they become very narcissistic. I hate that word. I hate that word so much. But legitimately, when it's come down to people who I have legitimately met within life who have issues with narcissism that was diagnosed by a clinical psychologist, which is about one of the only people who can actually diagnose that. These terms get thrown around all the time. It's the people that were coddled. Most of them women. Like, I know damn well that there are males out there who are narcissists, but there was this woman that, oh man, my buddy Scott, he really liked this one woman. Really liked this one woman. Married her. We thought everything was gonna be beautiful. We thought everything was gonna be great for him. Went to the wedding. I hate weddings. I hate going outside. Yuck. The sun is trying to kill me. Anyways, I went out and man, it didn't work out. It didn't work out. It got dark really fast. Like, she was pregnant with his first kid, and it was pretty. Looked pretty like everything was falling out, and he was kind of finding somebody else, and she was really fucking scared, and I was really worried for her. And I did something I really shouldn't have, and I reached out to her and I just asked, "Are you okay?" And I shouldn't have done that, but because then she's like, "Why are you asking if I'm okay?" I had this really weird feeling like something super bad was going to happen, because he didn't know much about vehicles, but he did this weird thing where he lubricated her brake pads or something before she left, and it just didn't make any sense to me. Okay, not the brake pads, but like, I don't know what this thing is, but okay, so it is a brake. So let's say it's a car brake. You get the disc that closes on it, and you get the disc that it closes on. He was lubricating that up, and I had discussion with my buddy, and I was like, "You did tell him?" No, sorry, he didn't tell me this. I heard it third hand. So I was like, "You did tell him that could kill her, right?" And he's like, "I don't have the guts. I don't have the guts." I should have said something to him, but I didn't. Maybe I didn't have the guts. She ended up getting to her location fine, though. They were not doing very good. Realism. Oh, that's so happy. That's so nice. That's lovely. Yeah, let's read a Christmas time thing and talk about domestic violence and abuse. But hey, that's just reality in life, and I bet half the people seeing this will have had a. Let's face it, you're not a science mechanic person if you haven't had a little bit of trauma. Let's face it. Anyways, that relationship ended narcissistically when Scotty was holding the baby, and he said something to her to piss her off so much, and she just decked him. Like, she was holding the kid, and he was holding the kid, and she just unloads these angry fists right into his face. And this guy could take a pounding. Like, trust me, I've been gaming with him for a while. We'd been to the glory hole together. Trust me, girl, he could take a pounding. But, you know, he called the police, and she was unbelievably surprised to find out that women can be charged with domestic abuse. That is one thing a lot of women needed to wake up and realize. Women can be charged with domestic abuse. It absolutely can happen. And there's so many of them that just don't realize it. Oh, we've lost the use, the love, and utility of the wagon. Remember how much fun we would have on wagons? Were you allowed to divorce people back in the 40s? Like, legitimately. So this is one thing we don't have anymore. We're gonna lose this. It's lovely. A pipe holder. Pipes. The smell of pipe tobacco. Anyways, if you get dictionaries and go through dictionaries of different years, you're going to find the definition of marriage changes. I believe it was about in the 50s where I could be wrong, but I think in the 50s the definition was pretty clear that there was some ownership of the man over the woman. I can't get over how much information is in this. Look at this. That's beautiful. And it's true information. It gives you the idea for all of it. There is no magazine, no media that gives you all of this. Beautiful. Just beautiful. I feel like as a tech, this stuff is just so beautiful. So anyways, this guy that decks Scotty, or the girl that decks Scotty, changing the names, by the way. Yeah, she was pampered all her frickin' life. Her dad gave her everything that she could want. Now, she was intelligent, but, like, she was so rich that when we went to... I'm just calling it res, whatever they call it. Yeah, it is res, residential, yeah, and not reservation. Like, she wasn't sharing a room. She had her own place. Like, you could go to another place, and then there was houses. You could rent houses, and man, she had it. So, guys, I'm telling you, if you got kids, you got to make them eat shit every now and then. I mean, not literally, but you got to make them face reality, and sometimes that means eating a little dirt. It's just dirt, and dirt don't hurt. Look at this totally new camera. Sometimes when I see kids dressed up in fursuits, I just think, man, thanks for belting me, Dad. Legitimately. If you don't like trains, you have no soul. Trains are the coolest thing. They're the best. I mean, legitimately, boys, men, like, yeah, trains. I think everyone's like, yeah, trains. Man, anytime you're in a new place and you see a new type of train pass by, guys, kids are like, whoa, is that a stealth bomber? You know that meme, right? Is that a whoa? Like, if I see a train like this, I think it's really cool. Like, I got CN trails, but they're nothing like that. A king midget, a car just for your wife, so she won't mess with your car and your seat. See, y'all got everything back in the 40s and the 50s. You got jet engines on cars? Ugh, mon Dieu. This stuff really makes me think it would have been better for me to be alive in the 40s, though I know there wasn't really electricity or internal plumbing in all of the houses in my village area at the time. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, have a good one. Take care of each other. Feel free to message and bust my balls about how up my own arse I am with some of this stuff. Feel free to talk shop and bust my balls. That's all right. Help me learn here. Have a good one, folks. But literally, take care of each other, please. What's up, folks? Once again, I'm Nev from Nev's Tech Bits, otherwise known as your friendly neighborhood basement dweller. Don't worry, ma'am, I am from the ancient, and today we are checking out a 1950 science and mechanics. April 1950, build your own low-cost uranium detector. Man, this thing just reeks atomic age ephemera. Look at how they're just bulldozing everything. The theme here is taking the land down so that you can use the land. This is the only time I have ever seen a glorification of land destruction. But they're really getting right into it, eh? They're like, oh, we're gonna take those old trees down, or these... Oh, man. You couldn't get this past the hippies these days. This would just break a hippie's heart. You know you're getting into an older magazine when it says, learn electricity. Boy. Be a success in radio television. Do something good with your life. Go to school and make your mom happy. Television, radio, and electronics. You can learn from home. I'm sorry, guys. You're going to have to put up with me going slow over these things. Every bit of these advertisements is ephemera. This stuff is gold. I love this. They're getting really excited about organs here. Be a diesel mechanic. I'm sure some of those things never change. Hey, riddle me this. Why is diesel more expensive than gasoline? Why has it been that way so long? I know supply and demand, but someone's messing with that system. I absolutely love circular televisions that give off a square image. Lexi power, is that like Dianetics and Scientology? Come on, autofolk. We think in words. Thought is power. Okay. Hey, check it out. Looks like this is one of those generals from North Korea. American Jiu-Jitsu tricks. Commando fighting. Those guys have no idea what they're doing. They know nothing about commando, let's face it. Motors Auto Repair Manual. I am so sorry. I have so much respect for that book. Makes any auto repair job your meat. Your penis? Me? In a rut? Could be. I've heard some people say, like, hey, you're down, to people who are having a really hard time in life, and I don't really think some of those people are down. I think life just really sucks for them. Learn to mount birds and animals. Fun and for profit. Send away for a free book. Yeah, I don't trust anyone who would learn some things you just don't want to learn from home. U.S. government jobs. Jeez, if you get one of those, you're good, right? Look at that ephemera, though. I love that. I love that. You can be a clerk, railway. Oh, geez, you would be a government employee if you worked for the railway in some cases, wouldn't you? Post office clerk, those are all very respectable jobs. Oh, I love the Pip-Boy ephemera. Bongo, 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 I don't want to leave the Congo. No, 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 no. Bingo, bango, bongo, I'm so happy in the jungle, I refuse to go. They're still using tubes. Oh, of course they're still using tubes. I wonder at what point they stopped using them. Once again, this draw me like your French women. Draw anime. You can draw ladies' nipples so you won't need the internet. Glow tape. That must just be like glow-in-the-dark stuff, right? I understand plastics were kind of new to this time, and while wood was an in-demand thing, chrome and plastics were becoming popular. If there's anyone who's familiar with the time, I'll get you to fill me in on that. Good money in old furniture. Seriously, I only know one person that... I've only ever known one person that could do this, a seamstress, and yeah, you could seriously still make some money with this, I'm sure. Nobody knows how to do this stuff anymore. It's like a Cooper. Except some trades are lost out of redundancy because it's just too easy to get things manufactured in another country by slave laborers. Model engine from scrap? Oh, I gotta respect anyone that can do something like that. Having a hard time with the ladies? Learn hypnotism. Learn how to hypnotize those ladies into loving you. Brrr. Dude even looks creepy. This over here looks like the most no fun and constipated individual. It's Hank Hill! Well, ho there, Bobby. I'm Hank Hill. I'm here to sell propane and propane accessories. I'll tell you what, Bobby. Haha, look at that guy wearing personal protective equipment in the 50s. He must be a homosexual. I'll remind you guys I'm bisexual. I can get away with saying that shit. Lol. But still, I think kids in grade school still say no homo, even though they're totally okay with homo, because they don't want any sexual tension. And I totally understand that. Wow, that is a huge TV for the 50s, isn't it? 16-inch? Yeah, giant new 16-inch for her pleasure. Check it out, boys. The new 100-power telescope. Complete kit, only $2.98. Oh man, I love the ephemera of that outdoor motor. An all-day tank. An all-day tank. Oh, I could use one of those for mine. I'm just gonna hang here. Nuh-uh, no you don't, Mr. Page. And we're just gonna appreciate some of these things. Physical therapy. I got those chiropractors trying to get through the sketchy papers. Sorry, I'm going to scroll in. Complete practical physical therapy jiu-jitsu. Huh. Yeah. Now you can fight dock workers. A Swedish body massage gone. Sing for money. Now, women like to sing for money. Have men ever cared to sing for money? Like, I went to karaoke once and, oh, it was horrible. Oh, they're making plastic domes specifically for little plants. No wonder I wouldn't have seen those. They wouldn't have lasted the test of time. We got a projector case that doubles the size of the screen. Oh, a disposal system inside the sink. A real hand eater. And the utility tester. I could just read through these advertisements all day just for the ephemera, just for the beautiful look. Check that out. It's an exhaust deflector. It deflects the gas directly at the road instead of directly out the back and possibly at someone. That is very nice. Man, I bet that would be really hot to live in the summer, but geez, with the way housing is right now, that might just be a good way to make some shelters real quick. Now, it's interesting, in older magazines, you find professionals unapologetically driving around on scooters. At what point did it become effeminate and not cool to drive around on a little bike? It seems like nothing is cooler than sitting on a motor and just away you go. No, it has to be a giant, powerful motor. Ring, ding, 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 pop, pop, pop. Life decisions. Become a doctor of psychology or raise hamsters. Mama didn't raise no fool. I'ma raise me some rabbits, boy. Oh my goodness, these old-timer auto kits. I've seen them so many times. When I was a kid, I used to pick these up at the second-hand store. My grandma would pick them up. And we'd bring them home, and I think they're really cool. They didn't last the Destruction Derby. I didn't have too many of those things, though. But man, yeah, they look pretty neat. Here's your health. Men discover it's totally not gay to get hugs from women in bed. Also, this wisdom must die. You always get these advertisements in all of the mechanics and science magazines. That's like, oh, the Christians have been keeping things away from you, and you're like one of these people, and there's always a totally hot lady in there, and you can give her information that will make her want to show you her thingies. Wow, Zenith made everything. I'm very deaf, but I hear. Thank you, Zenith. Got a rupture? Don't you dare go to the doctor about it. You know he still doesn't damn well know what he's talking about. It's still the 50s. He might try to literally blow smoke up your bottom. Oh yeah, also back then you didn't have to want to look like a 1% biker to get a Harley Davidson. It was just something, hey, you get an American bike, right on. You don't have to be a drug dealer or anything like that. Oh, now this is where it gets really interesting. See, in the 50s, they were still kind of beating the universe back to get farmland, and they knew we still needed to irrigate and have trees here and there for this and that, right? Here we have pictures of machines that, man, just enthrall me. As a mechanic, as a tech, these things are badass and awesome, but as someone who loves Mother Nature, it's pretty also kind of terrifying at the same time. But hey, there was a time where we kind of needed to beat nature back, and we beat her back pretty hard. Like, check this one out. Complete grill of frills. Where is it? Arsenic. Yeah. Apply arsenic solution to keep the animals from it, basically. Yeah, apply arsenic to the base of trees so that animals will run away. Look at these arses and their arsenic. Fresh water from the sea, boys. How do we do it? We distill it. I mean, it's a lot more complicated than that, boys. We get our air outlet. We get our light IRA 400. It always ends up looking like a crematorium than it does on paper, but still, lovely crematorium, where we distill down our fallen heroes and make beautiful water out of them. Soylent Green is people. 50 houses a day in the 50s, Justin Trudeau. How come we can't do this in Canada? How come in the biggest frickin' country in the world, almost, let's just say it is, and I can't get any freaking land because of red tape, because your buddies, the rich folk, all want to have all the, ooh, that's a pretty cool thing. Wow. Invisible light beams talk? Wait, is light isn't supposed to talk to you, buddy. Light can be military. Oh, it's a night vision. No, it's infrared. Man, that guy looks so cool. I want one. Look at all those radio tubes. I'm getting wet from the ephemera. Battle of the transport, boys. Who's better? I believe I have never seen an antenna like that before, huh? An X-ray microscope, you say? Fascinating. So, this is about hooked rugs, but also, look at how awesome and normal that is in the 50s. What's new in the workshop? I don't understand what quite a bit of this is. An alcohol burning blowtorch? That's like butane. Instead of butane, it burns alcohol. Butane is an alcohol, but alcohol is a gas and butane is a gas. Yes, yes, the lightweight auber press. I know exactly what that is. That had better just be an oiler for tight spots, because that's what it looks like. A starter feeder fits standard. Well, anything's a dildo if you're portable bandsaw. That sounds really cool. Portable anything. Oh, I love this. Make your make your lawnmower a power motor. That is awesome. Also, I would never want my wife around anything like that. I'd be worried she'd lose a finger. It's just like anything that dangerous. No, if anyone's losing a finger here, it's me. I am far more likely to lose a finger, but I would rather be. If anyone's losing a finger, it's me. Make titles for your own home movies. It is really easy. Doesn't look easy. Just make this thing here. See this? Got it? Good. Geez, there's another one. Sharpen those blades. That thing looks like a death trap. Yeah, and all those folks are like, oh, wow, women can't do it. Hey, let's get a woman out here and sharpen this death trap. Better yet, no, if anyone's going to lose their wiener sharpening something, it's going to be me. Ceramics in your kitchen. Look, dear, we don't have to eat off of paper plates anymore. No, dear, but we'll do it because we choose to. Here we got a real man's pocket computer add-in machine. A 3-wheel power motor? What could go wrong? Really, what could go wrong? I wish I could be this happy with anything in life. Well, my kids give me a hug, I get that happy. I'll forget I said anything. Ooh, that looks like an interesting motor he's got there. Try this tube. Well, I was hoping that there'd be naked ladies in this episode of, 50s magazines. My progressive girlfriends were always telling me that the patriarchy and etc. and so on, and it happened way back then. I was really expecting to find information about how to be all patriarchal and alpha male-ish, but that doesn't seem to be in this issue. Perhaps I'll have to look back in further issues to find out how I can become part of said patriarchy. No. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, have a good one. Take care of each other, will ya?